I have a question for you this week before we have our story. Who is God and what is God like? Does he care about me, about you? Well, Jesus came to show us. Jesus showed us that God is love. He showed us his care and his mercy. And we're going to see that again in another amazing true story from the Bible, which I've called The Girl and the Interruption. There was a man called Jairus, and he had a daughter that he loved. One day, his daughter got poorly. She got sick, and sicker and sicker. She's dying, he said one day, and it was true. Sadness filled his heart. What could he do? Suddenly, there was a flutter of hope. Jesus! I know! Jesus is in town. If I go and find him, he will make her better. He can even give her life if she dies. So he rushed across town to go and find Jesus. Came to Jesus, panting, out of breath, knelt at Jesus' feet. Jesus, my daughter, come quickly. She's dying, he said. Let's go, said Jesus, and off they went, quickly striding across town to get there as soon as they can. But what's this? There's an interruption that causes them to stop. What could it be? What is so important? It's a woman, a poor woman who has got nothing left. She's been poorly, she's been bleeding for 12 years, and there's nothing she can do. Except she knew, if I can just touch Jesus' coat, I'll be healed because he can heal me. So she came, and she just touched his coat while he was walking past. But Jesus knew something had happened. He stopped. He said, "Who touched me? I've healed someone." The woman was very ashamed, but she came forwards and said, "It's me." Jesus smiled at her and said, "It's okay. I've healed you. I've made you whole." Jesus cared. Jesus loved that woman. They carried on, making their way to Jairus' house. When they got there, they said, "It's too late. She's dead." Jesus said, "No, it's not too late. Not for me." So they went inside. Into her room they went. Jesus knelt by her bed and gently took her hand, reaching down into death to bring her back. He said, "Little girl, get up." And, rubbing her eyes like she'd just woken from sleep, she did. She smiled. Her parents gasped. What joy was in that house! Jesus had given her life. He'd brought her back from the dead. "Let's get her some food," said Jesus. Jesus loved children. Kids would run to him for a hug, smiles, love. No one was too little or too young or too unimportant for Jesus. Jesus said, actually, we need to come to him like a child. What did he mean? He meant trust, childlike trust. When we hold our little kids, like I was with Daniel, they feel safe. They can run and jump into our arms and know that we'll catch them. They have complete trust. find it harder to come to Jesus. We make it too complicated, or we're suspicious or cynical, have too many excuses and distractions. But Jesus says, no, trust me, like a child. That woman was way more than an interruption. She was precious to Jesus, and she trusted him like a child. That is what faith is. Jesus wants to reach down into our spiritual depth, take us by the hand and pull us out. He says, come, trust me and live like this woman, like the little girl. Jesus says, I am the way and the truth and the life. There is no other way to be saved, no one else to go to. Jesus is who we need. God, Jesus, came down into our mess to save us, to pay for our sin so that we can be forgiven, so that we can have life forever with Jesus. So Jesus says, come, trust me like a child.